What is up, disc golfers? Before we get started with today's video, I want to give a quick shout out to the Kickstarter we have for Berg's Disc Sports. The Iceberg Disc Golf Backpack is the most versatile disc golf backpack on the market. We've basically custom designed every pocket, every seam, every dimension to be optimal for performance, and this bag contains the finer details that are really going to help you perform the best that you can on the course. If you want to be part of this project, the link for the Kickstarter is in the description below. Now for today's video, I want to talk about Gannon Buhr and Kevin Jones. I think Prodigy has a pretty solid lineup right here this year between these two players specifically. My biggest concern is that Kevin Jones hasn't really taken home a big win since 2020. He did do well at Vegas, and he won this Flex Start, but we're not going to count that because it's not part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. But Kevin Jones has really been struggling aside from the Las Vegas Challenge to really come out and perform at the highest level and the level that we kind of expect Kevin Jones to play at. When people talk about the best players in the world, a lot of people put Kevin Jones in that conversation, and I just don't think he's kind of earned that spot quite yet this year. And over the last 2 years, he hasn't been able to come out and win anything big. So I think Kevin Jones definitely needs to figure out where the holes in his game is and figure out what he can do to be back on top, be back on Jomez, and be back on lead card. Because hot on his tail is Gannon Buhr. Everybody was captivated by Gannon's performance at the Las Vegas Challenge against Drew. It was some of the best putting that we'll probably see all year, not just from Gannon, but from the entire field in the Disc Golf Pro Tour. That putting at the Las Vegas Challenge was stellar, and it was one of the best putting performances that I've ever seen. He was also able to come in the top 10 at Texas States. And on top of all these things, Gannon is a lot younger. I believe Gannon is still 16, and I think Kevin Jones is in his mid-20s right now. So by the time Gannon's in his mid-20s, I wonder what kind of player he's going to grow into and what kind of player he is going to become. But Kevin Jones used to be a guy that we would see, throwing pro discus discs, competing for USDGC titles, being at the top of the sport and being at the highest level. And now as the field gets deeper, we sort of see Kevin Jones hopefully able to figure it out and find his way back near the top. But the Disc Golf Pro Tour is harder right now than it's ever been. You have guys like Gannon Buhr coming for your name, coming for your neck. He's a killer, and he wants to come out and beat you and win events. And I'm sure they're great friends, and I'm sure they're great teammates, but I know there's going to be a lot of competition between these two to compete to see who actually is Prodigy's top dog. And I think based on performances this year so far, Gannon Buhr is Prodigy's top dog. And this is a challenge for Kevin Jones to see what can he do next. Can he come out and win? Can he come out and get a top 5 in one of the next few upcoming tournaments? I know Kevin Jones is really good at the woods, but he also has big distance. So he has all the skill sets, but can he execute with consistency at the highest level and bring home a win this year? I really hope he can, because I really like Kevin Jones. Seems like a really cool dude. He likes rock climbing. I like rock climbing, so we definitely, have some common ground. Really cool guy, but the focus is disc golf right now, and the focus needs to be on beating guys like Gannon, getting back up, beating Ricky Wysocki, beating Paul McBeth, beating Eagle McMahon, beating the best names in the sport so he can claim his spot back in the top of the game. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Who do you think is Prodigy's top dog right now? You're watching Iceberg TV, and take care.